The thing about mashups to me though, they have to be the perfect thing. You can't just like put two things together and hope it works. To me, it has to make sense. There has to be a psychology behind it.
Can you rate my Thundercats ho?
Sure, go
And
ahead.
give me an honest answer.
All right.
Okay. Thundercats ho! I feel like whatever you watch them in, it's the Muppets, and you can always have like a feel-good moment with them.
Well, you just said it. It feels good, doesn't it?
Hey guys, welcome back to another interview here on Toned In Entertainment. Today we're at Ultracon 2022, and I'm joined by Guy Gilchrist. How you doing?
Hey, great to see you, Tony.
Oh, now we're back at conventions now after a little bit of craziness.
Right.
How's it feel to be kind of like back to normal?
It's really, really fun. I think that, I missed you guys missed us, and it's nice to get back together.
Now, you've worked with some amazing people over the years. What was it like working with Jim Henson?
Exactly like you would think, except times 1,000. Jim was really just the sweetest, most focused and creative guy. Very, very generous, heavy-duty worker. We were all workaholics, but why wouldn't you be? You're in this incredible universe, and we all knew that we were working for, the most creative person that we ever could work for. So being a little particle in that universe, we were creating something really, really cool that's lasted all of these years. Jim was, I always tell people, you have a dream if you're a Jim Henson fan. I think the entire world is. What you hope he would be like, and I always say just times that by 1,000 and you're close.
Okay, so times 1,000 and we'll almost get there. Now, you've also worked with the great Stan Lee.
Sure.
You got to tell me about that as well, too.
Well, Stan was a real sweetheart, and Stan was an actor, really. He wanted to be an actor, and but I met Stan when over the phone one day at the Syndicate office, and at the time he was writing the Spider-Man comic strip and stuff like that, overseeing that, the Hulk, and anyway, he was living out in Malibu. And the very first time he and I ever talked about it, in 1982, we were on the phone for like 2 hours. And we became pals, very, very close pals after that. And one time, late 80s maybe, Stan called me up and he had an idea that we could do superhero books for children. And he knew that I had worked with Jim, and so he asked me to coordinate that. So there are still some of those out there, like the X-Men books and Inhumans and the Hulk and stuff, that my studio did with Stan.
Right. Now, you've obviously got the Kermit the Frog shirt on. Is that your favorite Muppet, or which one would be your favorite?
My favorite is always whichever one I'm working on at that moment. It's the only one that matters, Tony, is the one that I'm working on in that moment. When you're working in a universe and you're writing and you're drawing stuff, you become those characters and the interaction of those characters. So you're in that moment, and that's that, But of course, I'm going to wear Kermit, and it's Jim's symbol, and it means a lot to a lot of people, and I love Kermit.
Now, why have the Muppets really stood the test of time? No matter, I feel like whatever you watch them in, it's the Muppets, and you can always have like a feel-good moment with them.
Well, you just said it. It feels good, doesn't it? The Muppets are silly and loving and fun and goofy and all at the same time. They love each other, they make fun of each other, but it's us against the world. And that's usually the story arc, is there's a parody of some sort, whether it's the Treasure Island or a spy story or whatever it happens to be. But it's always you and me and our pals, and we're all a little weird, but all of our weirdness seems to work, and we're all gonna get together, and we're gonna beat this thing. We're gonna get over this thing. And that's sort of the everyman in all of us, and I think that's why the Muppets work.
Now, how has the industry changed since you were doing it back with Jim Henson to here in 2022?
Well, I don't really think there's been an incredible change, except for the vehicles. You know, where the delivery system of the product is different in that, and of course, social has changed a lot of things. Computers have changed a lot of things, but there's always going to be change. You know, you went from the radio to TV and movie. You know, you had movies in between, then TV, and now you have social and stuff. But content is content, and good content will always stand the test of time. And you know, and there'll always be, you know, bad content out there, and then it's going to be up to the public to figure it out. Like, what do you like? What do you don't like? You know.
Right. Now, obviously, you do amazing work, and we're here at Ultracon, and you've got the Funko Pops on display. Can we show off like the Jim Henson one and just kind of like?
I just did this.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah. So we use these. So use these markers here, you know, and I draw on them. And there's Jim holding Kermit, and there's Kermit.
And what does something like that cost if somebody was to buy it?
Well, this is $100.
And if people aren't at
for
the
you,
for
I'll
me-
double the price.
You're
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Do you take a personal check?
No personal
no
checks.
personal checks.
I'd be like Svengoolie. Do you ever see that show, Svengoolie?
I've not seen that one.
Oh, they know it. Anyway, yeah, he's like a horror host on a television show. No personal checks.
No personal.
No. Look, would Statler and Waldorf honor your personal check?
Probably not.
No, they probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, you're a good businessman.
No. Like Miss Piggy says, we do take credit cards. We just don't give them back.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Because she was quite the shopper.
Quite the shopper.
Quite the shopper. What other future projects do you have coming up?
There's a children's book that just came out called Magical Creatures Make Bad Pets, and that's out right now. And it's on Amazon, and it's everywhere. And let's see, and there's a graphic novel that if you follow me on social and all of that stuff, as soon as I can tell you about it, I promise I will. But I've been working very hard on that, but we just can't say anything yet. And then there's the tour. Everywhere, all the time.
You are all over the place.
Yeah, well, you know, but not all at once, right?
No.
Not all at once. But yeah, and I really enjoy coming out and visiting with you guys. This is a great year. Like you said, you know, we've been apart for a while, and you know, the Muppets is all about getting together, and so it's fun to get together again.
It is. That's the most important message I think we could take away. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you've got other stuff going on. Where can people look you up to pick up these awesome, everything that you got?
Yeah. Well, okay, it's Guy Gilchrist. So you type that in, and I've been around for a very long time, so you will find it all. But it's aguyGilchristProduction.com will be the gates to the Emerald City for you, you know, or the gates to the Muppet Workshop, or whatever you'd like.
Well, I'm loving the Muppets. Yeah. I think my favorite is Muppets Take Manhattan is definitely my personal favorite out of all.
Well, you know, whenever I watch that, it's like home movies, because all of everybody that worked at Henson Associates are extras in that movie, because it's being filmed all around Manhattan, and that's where we were. You know, and isn't it delightful that these guys have decided to share that beautiful sacred music on a Sunday with us, that they just walked by. Anyway, that's my new single, and that'll be out on records.
I can't wait. I will have it on iTunes right away. There's nothing
You never know what you're going to see when you get to a guy. I don't know what were they like. They were like sort of Ghostbusters or something, but they were playing like Gwar. I think that was Gwar.
Yeah. Well, that'll bring me to one last question, because I do want to, because we just had an awesome mashup walk past us, and you do a lot of mashups too. And I think one of my personal favorites, speaking of Ghostbusters, is the Egon and Gonzo drawing that you've done. Definitely my personal favorite that you've done.
Oh man, thank you. I love that one. And that was, you know, you guys think of mashups. So like there's this one over here. Here, let me grab this one here. So there was this one where somebody thought, wouldn't it be cool if?
Oh, okay, Little Shop
Right?
of Horrors.
Yeah.
Right.
So Little Shop of Muppets. So we did that, and so I think it's really, really fun that that you guys will think of stuff sometimes that I wouldn't have thought of in a million years, and the Muppets. That's one of the things that really works with the Muppets is parodies, and figuring out the right character for the right, thing. Like on these Funkos and stuff, see, like you've got different ones. Like, see, there's,
look at that.
Gonzo.
Okay.
Yeah, Gonzo as Batman. See, so this stuff works, It's the characters. The characters are so much fun because they're in show business and they're acting. So so you have these skits. But yeah, I loved doing that one. That was a few years ago. I remember that.
Definitely my personal favorite of all of them.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, Guy, I'm going to let you go because you got a little bit of a crowd forming around here. And you've got hey, it's a business and I want you to make your money. So, Guy, thank you so much for joining me here.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, if you like interviews like this with Guy Gilchrist, make sure you stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.